So namaskaram all. I think today morning that was a wonderful session you had attended. Dr. D.K. Hari and Hema Hari had explained a lot about Kalari, about the martial arts and all in general, I think. But specifically, I am from the south. I am learning, evolving, and teaching Kalaripai to southern style, the southern style of Kalaripai. So I would like to focus a little more on the South knowledges, the wisdom of the 18 Siddhas, the Kalari practice and all that we are doing is little bit like it's a practical style that is Southern style, which has a very what do you call wonderful treasure of knowledge embedded inside that and not yet explored. So I will start my presentation with a Siddhar Padal. So I'll start with a Siddhar Padal. It says, சிறப்பாக அரண் உமைக்கு சொன்ன வார்த்தை செந்தில் வாடி வேலவரும் உனிக்கு சொன்னான் தரணி தன்னில் மனுவோர்கள் பிழைப்பதற்கு சகல நூலும் வெளிவாக பாடலுற்றார். See, these are the lines from Marma Nidanam. Marma Nidanam is a text composed by sage Agastya. So, as you all know, it is believed that all knowledge of Bharat originated from Lord Shiva. The Padal says, Shiva conveyed this knowledge to his wife Umayal. So, for the first teacher is Shiva, and the first student is a woman, that is Umayal, and who in turn taught to her son Subramanya. From Velan or Murugan, Agastya got Kalari training. For mankind on earth, to give them courage and ward of diseases, I am teaching it. The text is Marma Nidanam 500 with 500 verses by Agastya. So he starts this Padal like this. You should understand, while Vedas and Upanishads compared knowledge in the north, there were equivalent compositions at the southern end of India, composed from the highest of the thinking about living, life, physical transformation, mental transformation, and spiritual lives. There was a rich lineage of Agastya with his incredible contributions and the 18 Siddhas who followed him through the centuries in the south. The word Siddhar indicates those who have gained certain siddhis, certain superhuman achievements, siddhis. They are said that they are accomplished one. So they were not pseudo scientists or mystical thought. Basically, they are not like that. They left their marks as doctors, tried their level best in scientific research. They were scientists, they were yogis, they were alchemists, and they were pressure point or Burma experts. But I don't know, our nation has not been introduced to them properly. They have not received due recognition. Or it is better to say that we have not been provided the opportunity to become familiar with their incredible body of work. So, amidst of a culture steeped in myths and legends, these Siddhas got a scientific worldview that was closer to life. They taught us to know ourselves. During the epochs of invasions and resistance, they taught the people a science of defense, a science of fighting. We can proudly say it as Kalaripai, the mother of all martial arts. So Kalaripai educates us about the mind and the body and their immense potential. It's a martial art from that lays down a strong foundation for a good health, good life. I'll say one more பாடல். ஓதிய வேதன் நிதானப்படி எண்சான் உடலுக்குள் எழுந்த நாடி 72,000. So this பாடல் says there are 72,000 nadis functioning in the human body. The body is only 8 charms, or you can measure your body in this length. This is charm from here to here. So the Siddhar taught us through songs. They conveyed the discoveries musically, set for remembering. I'll introduce another Siddhar Padal also. It says, Andathil ullade pindam, pindathil ullade andam, which means the divine light that fills this universe is also within you. Just as we cannot see nothingness or vacuum, we are unable to sense the Brahman within us. So it's because of our ignorance, these lines should be studied very well, because we can explain these two lines. Maybe we can take a day-long session in these lines. These two lines are by Udambai Siddhar, one of the Siddhar, one of the prominent Siddhas in these 18 Siddhas. The depth of the lyrics are as impressive as beauty of their compositions. Siddha tradition is the continuous exploration of the separation and the unity of Parabrahman and the body. They usually say, Andam Tan Pindam. And we can move to little more light on Siddha tradition. The Siddha traditions are also known as Shiva Sampradayas, or knowledge system of Shiva, or the supreme consciousness. Shiva Sampradayam became Siddha Sampradayam after Agastya's migration to South India. So, Siddha system of medicine is said to be have in existence in South India, especially in Tamil Nadu, from the last many centuries, even from the time of famous Tamil Sangam, the first. This is the oldest Indian system of treatment, we can say. Before Tamil Sangam literatures, Tamil Sangam period, this Siddha system is remained here. I think coming January 9th is Agastya Jayanti, and government is also planning to celebrate the Siddha Day, I think. So, through these songs and the Kalari steps and moves, they attempted to create enlightened warriors, the warriors with strong mind and body, or we can say a fearless human. So here we come to give little light on evolution of martial arts. We are always saying Kalaripai is the mother of martial art. So we can't think that from Kalari all martial arts learned, or Kalari was the foremost one. We can't say like that, because if you are observing the modern martial arts, just like the Chinese martial arts or any other martial arts in the world, we can see the strong inspiration of Kalaripai, or the southern styles of martial arts. It is very much evident, it is very prominent, and it is accepted anyway. So I am just saying about the evolution of martial arts. The word martial arts came from the Greek idea, the art of Mars. We know that martial arts and their evolution took place over thousands of years. Martial arts originated along with mankind. First cultural formations. In ancient India, China and Greece, martial arts were created as a form of resistance and tool for survival. As you might know, we measure cultures or civilizations through the presence of their tools and weapons. So, it is the discovery of tools and weapons that help us recognize and study cultures. From stone flames and arrowheads, they moved to iron and other metals. As the tools changed, culture changed. Civilizational history is a history of conflict, of war. Along with wars, the arts related to war developed. The cave paintings and other pictographs from ancient cultures around the world show that military training or martial art training were an integral part of society. Naturally, such training must have existed before they were committed to paintings by artists of even cave dwellings. Consider the Paleolithic age. Spears were prominent weapon during the lower Paleolithic age. Dhanush or bow and arrow and associated Dhanur Vidya become significant in the upper Paleolithic age. There we can come to India and we can just observe what is Dhanur Veda. As far as Bharata is concerned, historians state that Dhanur Veda developed alongside Yajur Veda between 1700 and 1100 BC. It is the Veda of Dhanus or bow. It is also an Upaveda of Yajur Veda. This Veda was compiled by either Bhrigu or Vishwamitra or Bharadwaja or Sadashiva. It has been attributed to many sages. So the Dhanu Veda contains knowledge about Mushti Yuddha or bare hands or fist fighting. And the word Dhanur Veda is about bow and arrow. Then about chariot based warfare, that is Ratha Chalana. Then Ashwa Chalana was there, or horseback fighting was there. The text also discusses army formation or vyuhas. It is a very elaborate and incredible compilation that brings together diverse techniques. So we can see inside the Dhanu Veda there is a sloga that says that Shakti Adi Pani Muktam Syad, Indra Muktam Sharadikam, Mukta Muktam Cha Ishtyadi, Ramuktam Churigabhikam. Here it means that Shakti Adi Pani Muktam Syad. The weapon which can release from the hand is something like Shakti. Shakti come under the Pani Muktam category, or weapons that leave the hand towards the enemy. Spears are thrown. Tools or Yendra propelled weapon, that is Yantra Mukta, like the arrow or Shara that is sent from the bow. Here the arrow gathers more strength as it is launched from tool rather than the arm. So there is Mukta Mukta category. Weapons like Ishti, which is released from the hand but can be recovered. We can think about the boomerangs. Actually, we have boomerangs. We call it Valari. The knife we can throw and it will come back. So Amukta weapon do not leave the hand. So in this category we can see Pani Mukta, Yendra Mukta, Mukta Mukta, and Amukta. Amukta weapons, they do not leave the hand, like sword, dagger, churiga in Kalari. Thus, expert says that Kalaripaitu weapons belong to Amukta category of Dhanurveda. But these studies are going, but when we check the Sangha period, if you examine the Sangha era, literatures like Akampadal, Purampadal, Manimekhala, Kundalageshi, Akananur, Purananur, then Tirumurugattupadai, we can see the terms kalam, kalari, kallibogina kalari, etc. evidently in different spaces. That means the word kalari was used in the foremost Sangha period. Kalaripayattu flourished as well as established before the Sangam period. The first Sangam period or Adi Sangam era is attributed to Agastya as its foremost sage. In the Sangam literature, and you know that the Tamil language, it came from Agastya itself. He had made that grammar text Agatyam, which is the base of Tamil literature and language. So in the Sangam literature, we can find several warriors who underwent systematic martial art training, just like we can see in Dhanurveda. Such military seems to have already been struck in the society. We can see target practices for archery. We can see horseback fighting. We can see elephant back fighting, etc. were separately taught in regular manner. So we also know about the variety of swords and spears, shields and types of bows and arrows are all mentioned in different points in the Sangam classics. Sangam era is also known as Veera Yuga. Bravery and courage in battle was most prized. It was an era when mothers used to be happy if their sons died with a wound in the chest. They prayed for such a valiant death for their sons. I am making a movie in the same subject, which dates back to 17th century. It's a 17th century movie, but the basic theme and idea and inspiration comes from this area. So they prayed for such a valiant death for their sons. After such battle glory, these warriors would be immortalized with hero stones, which went on to become worshipped as God. You can Google hero stones and you can find different kinds of hero stones all over the world. Especially, we can see it prominently in the southern part of India. So we can say that such a martial art culture become firmly rooted in South India. So then we come to Kalari. The picture that I am showing is my students performing in a stage performance. So we have more girls than boys in the Kalari now. That's a happy thing. So Kalaripayattu in Kerala, it is, you can see equivalent spaces in Andhra as Giridis. We can see Silambam Varmakala in Tamil Nadu, and even a similar art form we can see in Sri Lanka, that is Angamporu. Angampora, we can say Angampora. So in the morning session, actually, Parashurama is well introduced. More than historical records, we have myths and legends and oral tradition in this area. Thus, Parashurama is also considered as the Parama Guru of Kalaripayattu. Texts like Keralolpati, the history of Kerala, state that Parashurama bought the land of Kerala out of the ocean and established 108 Kalaris. So, more than historical facts, all Indian art forms have legends and myths in the back. So, same like that in Kerala, we see that Parashurama bought the land of Kerala out from the ocean and he established 108 kalaris. He's also said that he had given charge to 21 kalari gurukals to propagate and maintain these kalaris. So, for southern style of kalari, or we can say Tekkan kalari paitu, Agastya is considered to be the Paramaguru. So, but we have with us many texts attributed to Agastya himself, whereas Parashurama's story doesn't provide further infrastructural or illuminating text attributing to him. We have several dozens of texts from Agastya and the 18 Siddhas about kalari practice, pressure point techniques or marmas, kalari based healing system, and many of them are still practiced. And we should understand that we have diverse styles also. I am representing the southern style. So mostly in the morning session, they talked about the northern style of kalari fight. So I think I'll talk mostly about the southern. But we have different styles of kalari fight too. You can see in south. The single word Kalaripayattu is used to refer to the martial art form in Kerala. We have diverse styles. That is, the northern style, Parashurama is the Paramaguru for the northern style and Agastya for the southern style. The northern style or Vadakkan or Vattanthirippu style is flourishing in Malabar or North Kerala with its highly structured and disciplined system of training. At the same time, the southern style puts more emphasis on marma and pressure points. There is another style called Madhya Kerala or central style. There is also Kalam Chavuttu Sampradayam is there. Bali Sampradayam is there. As the name says, Bali Sampradayam focuses on drawing strength from the enemy itself. Pressure point based styles is called Varmakale. Here the damage is done by focusing on pressure points of the enemy and the revival process is also there. Then Silambatam is also part of southern kalari style. And in Sangam literature, especially in Silapadigaram and other works show that Silambam has been practiced since at least the 4th century BC. The term Silambu referred to a particular type of bamboo. So Silambam was named after its primary weapon, the bamboo staff. So southern kalari style is formed from the essence of all these various styles. So even today, the teachings is done with different elements from the diverse forms. Another important aspect is that Kalaripayattu is the only martial art form in the world which has a healing system that I already mentioned. Kalaripayattu is more than self-defense. It is said, Todade, Todade, Tottal, Vidade. That means we must never touch our enemy unless they make the first move on us. Our Gurukals strongly and repeatedly instruct that we must try to avoid any attack on us at least 3 times before considering to fight back using our Vidya or Kalaripayattu. So we must not touch our enemy as much as possible, and if we are forced to defend and counter-attack, then we must ensure that they are fully subdued. That is the saying that Todade, Todade, don't touch, touch defeat. So it is a beautiful martial art which alerts a student to love your enemy until we have no other way to save our lives. The healing system thus forms a protection system. The Gurukul is responsible for the health and well-being of the society around him. So let us examine the word Kalaripayattu. I think it is already mentioned. Kalari means school and Payattu means fighting skill. So it is the school that teaches Payattu for fighting skill. I started practicing at the age of 5 at home because my father was a Gurukul. So I have been practicing for more than 3.5 decades now. Because it was the core education system in Kerala. So I started practicing in childhood because Kalari was the way of life and vital education in our family. Now I recognize it as absolutely essential to develop a balanced body-mind complex and harmony in life. It is the main reason that at Agasthyam, that is my Kalari, we innovated Nalludal practice, which is a Kalari-based fitness routine that people anywhere in the world at any age can undergo. In Kerala, Kalari Paitu was the core education system. If we refer to the ancient Buddhist text, we can see Kerala region was considered the land of very healthy and strong people. Man and woman tremendously benefited from Kalari training that started at a young age for all in those times. Today, the system is all more relevant as life has become faster and more stressful. Kalari practice has been helping me and all our trainers and trainees maintain their health, physical and emotional, mental strength. Kalari provides you with awareness, alertness, mindfulness, along with quicker reflexes, which help us to free from stress or free living and rejuvenation. So I was talking about Nalludal. Apart from that, we are continuously doing Shakti program, which has helped the women being more confident with self-defense techniques. We have another program called Prana, which helps senior citizens enjoy better breathing, vital capacity and energy throughout the day. We offer a mindfulness meditation through Akkam program, which is an easy but extremely effective routine that even the busiest personals or professionals can practice in daily life. So, Kalari Paitu is the strength and foundation of Kerala society. There have been several historical studies about Kalari Paitu. Growth in South India. There is a prominent historian, his name is Sridhara Menon. He states that Kalari Paitu is the strength and foundation of Kerala society. As you know, history always travels with the warriors, kings and the leader. And most of the warriors come from Kalaris. It was the strength and beauty of Kalari. There was never any discrimination based on sex, religion, caste or creed in Kalari Paitu training. All boys and girls were administered this basic form of education. So thus a society of warriors, leaders was created from the Kalaris, immortalized by their courage. There is a Portuguese traveler, his name is Durai Barbosa, who came to Kerala in the early 16th century, wrote that kids start Kalari training to make their bodies flexible from the age of 7. The practice begins early in the morning. They practice twice a day. They seem to get highly flexible. Then the weapon training are imparted. Archery sticks and daggers are used. The practice continues till death of a warrior. We discuss the different types of Kalaris belonging to the Nayars, the Tiyas, the Muslims, the Christians and the Dalits. We talk about Tiyas wearing gold ornaments as well as having the urumi, that is the flexible sword, around their waist like a belt. Both men and women used to do this. He mentions that they can take it off with lightning speed in case of any attack. So this was his Durait Barbosa's expressions when he came to Kerala. So this is the Kalari that we train our students. This is our Kalari space. We have two spaces there in Trivandrum. So now it turns to the training part. The Kalari system requires basically 12 years of training to create an excellent warrior. But the efficiency and the dedication of the warrior or the student is much important. You can even learn from 5 to 6 years. Maybe if you are dedicating much, we can learn the basic ideas within 5 to 8 years. So Kalari system requires 12 years of training, as scripture says, to create an excellent warrior. The learning begins with the Meyorikam or preparation of the body. I am pointing about the southern style of practice. That northern style of practice is already explained in another session. So Meyorikam, we'll start with Meyorikam or preparation of the body. It gets the body to become flexible and agile, to turn and twist as required. At our Kalari, we incorporate breathing also into such flexibility training. This forms the foundation. Then we move to Kaladuppugal or leg exercises to bring the strength and flexibility of the legs. After that, we begin the Chuvadu or basic moves. These are meant to defend against attack from 4 sides. There are Otta Chuvadugal. Then we have Kutta Chuvadugal. We train basically 15 Otta Chuvadu and then 15 Kutta Chuvadu or combination steps for the base training. Then comes to Kaipporu or bare hand attacks. It is about defending and locking the attacks that focus on arms and legs. Then we learn Puttugal. Puttugal means locks, and Piruvugal, unlocking, which is about the different ways of locking the enemy and how we can escape if such locks are using against us. There are many interesting techniques in Kaipporu. After bare hands, we move to Kuruvadi. That is a short staff practice. Subsequently, long bow staff training is important. The long stick is perhaps the oldest weapon man started using. All our initial defenses involved sticks and stones, as you know. So we learned fight with the bow, then swinging of the bow staff. Then we enter to the metal weapons. We use kataras, that is daggers. Then we come to axe. We come to kantagodali, it's a different kind of axe. Then we move to sword and shield. The sword and shield, and we have a flexible sword, and it's a unique weapon which is used in Kalari, that is Urumi. Then we move to spear and shield, that we call it as Marabidi Chakundam. We have Kattim Talai, that we use clothes as weapons. After weapon training, we move into Marma Shastras or Marma points. It's a very unique learning process, and it's a time-taking process actually. This is a learning about the human body, the nadis and the pressure points. It's about the 108 pressure points in the human body, how they can be attacked and how we can escape, how we can revive people who might have collapsed because of heat or block to their pressure points. This reviving process, we call it as adangals. Then the trainee also start Marma Chikilsa or pressure point healing. So this is a complete system of learning. and it's a complete system of understanding the body, its weakness and strength, and curing ailments. The warrior training is complete only with the healer training. So, Kalaripayat, especially the southern style of martial art, is respected as the mother of all martial arts. That the presentation already detailed it very beautifully about Bodhidharma's travel to China, because he was a prince of Pallava. He he had been attacked by his own brothers. So he went to the forest, the woods. He find Pratima, a Buddhist nun, as his guru. Then he started learning Buddhism. Then he traveled after his 50s to China. He went to Northern Sioux. He met the king. Then he went to Southern Sioux. He meditated for 9 long years. It's a famous wall gazing meditation he did. And he had written 2 texts relating this martial art and body learning about these things. They are called the Yi Jing Jing. One is Yi Jing Jing and Xin Zai Jing. 2 granthas he wrote. But what happened is this the Bodhidharma's picture. We actually presented Bodhidharma's life in this martial art this IIT Mela in Delhi. We presented. So he was there. From this Yi Jing Jing, actually Xin Zai Jing is lost. Yi Jing Jing, actually the Buddhist leader, his name was Pratima. He came to India, he translated, and he went back. And from that, Kempo, Karate, Jujutsu, even in Silat, Kali, like all martial arts got inspired from Bodhidharma's teachings. So that's why we are calling. We can evidently we can see the animal postures, the moves, the stands, the swords, the weapons that we are using in all these martial arts. So that's why we actually the Kalari inspired all modern martial arts very well. That's why we are saying Kalaripayattu is the mother of all martial arts. So in our Kalari, we are teaching a different notes. We are teaching how to learn Kalari. We have actually a lot of students practicing, performing. They are participating in different competitions actually. Now state level, district level competitions are there, state level competitions are there, national level competitions are there. And last time we participated the Khelo India games also, and we bagged 3 medals for Kerala. This time also we went to national championship and we got some medals. Last time in Trivandrum district championship we bagged around 64 medals. Agasthyam bagged around 64 medals. So it's an academic learning process is going. So that we call it as Nityam practice. We are teaching them the Nityam practice. So now it is Trinity College of Engineering. It's an IK center for Kalaripayat and Siddha tradition, and being operated by Agasthyam Kalari. So what I am trying to say is about the wellness part of Kalaripayat. So for the majority of people in the world, life has become a meaningless mad rush after different things. As you know, minds are caught up in external things, desires, temptations, and goals. There is a short-term focus which prevents us from taking the long view, examining the purpose of our lives as a whole. Society is involved in a shallowness or superficially crisis time. So we, through our programs like Nalludal, is proposing Kalaripayattu as a lifestyle method to add depth and value to life. So Nalludal allows people of any ages to start. Along with the practice, it is also creating awareness. It's a method of understanding humanity more to realize the possibility and potential that has come to use in form of human life. So we have tried to provide such an opportunity. So people are under the common misunderstanding that life is a battle of them against the whole universe on the other side. It leads to isolated and depressing streams of thinking. So we live in a time where our state of health is highly quantified. It is no longer about whether we feel healthy, it is about whether certain number or being achieved in the lab results or weighing machines. So our awareness is dependent on these numbers and then our use of medicines to achieve that targets. So we seek tablets to solve all the ailments and seeming ailments. We have tied wellness to these numbers. We are not paying attention to the mind-body connection. One of the biggest problems of the modern world is ADR. Maybe you had heard about ADR or adverse drug reaction. It has become a major cause of death through issues like it's a major cause of death nowadays. You can see the issues like non-alcoholic liver cirrhosis and different diseases comes with this ADR. Most of the chemicals that we put in the body are unnecessary for the body. Body knows that it is not necessary for my body. So it set off a chain reaction in the body. The reaction from the body itself become a new disorder in our times. If we pay attention to the 18 Siddhas or Ayurveda, they state that our health is not contained in the readout of such lab result numbers. As we active and energized when we wake up, if you are active and energized when we wake up, we can, if you are able to take on tasks without feeling lazy, is there joy in your minds? And if you are feeling light, then you are healthy. These are the pointers of good health according to Ayurveda. And always Siddha says, Unave marundu, marunde unavu. That means whatever you eat is the medicine. The medicine is whatever you eat. So eating habits is also a very important thing. So the mind is the main thing. The mind is the major part. And always in sessions like this and seminars, I usually ask people, what is the basic necessity of life? So people will be like saying, they always say food and shelter. Nobody says the basic necessity of life is breathe. That is the issue. So, and people doesn't know where is the mind. Some people will say, here I have the mind. Some people are saying that mind is here. They are confused. Actually, we have a body-mind complex. That means our mind is deployed all over your body. You can find a lot of researches, lot of papers on this factor. So we consider Kalaripayattu as an effective training for the mind than the body. So we create fearless generation who have enormous confidence, resilience that build a strong foundation in life. There is a small incident when we performed in the IKS Mela in Delhi in the end of July this year. We had put up a Kalari show on the life of Bodhidharma, as I already mentioned. During the sword and shield performance by two of our young girls, her name is Raga, and one was Gopika. Raga's ear was cut. So Gopika and Raga are both national champions, and they are 14 years and 16-year-old girls. Raga actually continued to perform after the final curtain call. After that, after 1 hour of time, we took her to AIMS to get 2 stitches. When people at the Mela came to know about this, they wondered how a teenage girl had that kind of confidence and capacity to continue performing even after such injury. Actually, such acts of resilience and commitment are regular occurrence with our Kalari. We know that Kalari training instills a high level of resilience and confidence among our students. In 2020, Dr. Brian Moore of Charles Stewart University, Australia, he published a study called Well-Being Warriors. He had conducted a randomized study of the effect of martial art training on school students and found significant improvement in the resilience part. So at the IKA Center of Kalaripayattu at Trinity College of Engineering with Agasthyam Kalari, we are embarking on a similar study with Kalaripayattu. We are supported by the super team of psychologists from the National Institute of Speech and Hearing. Currently, the proposal is with the Ethics Committee, and we hope to start the study by January in 5 schools with 260 students. So we have a lot of anecdotes and stories about what values and character Kalari training imparts. It is important today to scientifically study and validate those effects. This will help attract a lot of people to learning and benefiting from the wisdom and wellness of Kalaripayattu. See, in the post-COVID world, World Health Organization estimates that we have gone back in mental health at least 3 decades. This is a much more serious long-term impact that we have to prepare for. Various psychological problems people faced from the fear of illness, anxiety from lockdown, depression from loneliness and separation, all of these have deep effect on how our lives will progress from now onwards. Even before the pandemic, the United Nations of World Health Organization have been urging us to move. They even had bought some advertisements related how the sedentary lifestyle of our time is leading to serious diseases and bad health. Many people assume that mere walking is enough for exercise. But if you talk to doctors and fitness experts, they will tell you that walking is simply part of being alive. For exercise to make sense, it should provide strength, endurance, balance, then flexibility. And that is what we come to a martial art like Kalaripayattu. You should understand, Kalari is the combination of all these exercises. The cardiovascular exercises where we use our cardiovascular strength or strengthening the heart, use more oxygen. Then the second one is the resistance training or muscular exercises. Then the third one is the flexibility one, and fourth one is the body balancing exercise. For a complete health, you should know the combination of these 4 exercises is very important. And Kalari is the only thing which can provide these 4 exercises continuously. So we are in such a world that we doesn't know ourselves much better. We are actually a learning animal, but we try to know the whole world. We want to understand the whole, we are ready to understand the whole universe. But about people, it's about gadgets, about films. We got many more opportunities and medium for learning today, but how many actually learn about their own self? That is the most important learning. So how much I can understand this universe? Can I evolve more? Are we learning this? reflecting or contemplating about this? How much can I expand my thinking capacities or intellect? So I'm asking a question. How many of you confidently say that you are breathing properly? Do you know how to breathe properly? That is the question. If I'm asking this question, you should understand the breathing is the bare necessity and need of life. Without breathing, we can't survive. So that was I was mentioning that people always say, what is the basic necessity of life? If you are asked any kid, they will say food, shelter. They don't even say this breathe. So people doesn't know how to breathe. That is the basic problem. We always say prana. As you know, with each and every breath we intake, subtle form of sukshma energy is coming inside. That is the life force. Without prana, when prana is lost, you become jada or dead body. Maybe the awareness of the body. I'll give you a very small exercise. You can try very simple exercise to show that how we are not much aware about our own breathing system. So everybody actually can sit straight. Hold your hands like this, open, and you can down your palms, open, down. Is there any difference feeling? Normally we feel that we are just twisting our wrist, but I can't see you much, but I think you are done. Right? So what I can do is, you open your palms and you can inhale, and you will feel that the breath flow is going through the frontal chest area. You experience that. You open your palms and breathe. So the breath is going through your frontal chest area, right? If you just down your palms, that if you are starting breathing, then you will feel that the breath will come through your rib cage area. If you are breathing like this, then the breath flow will come through your rib cage area. Am I right or not? Yes. So when merely changing the body postures, what is happening actually? The big change is happening inside. So that we are not at all aware. That is the problem. So we are not at all observing ourselves. That is the issue. And did you heard about the term breath per minute? Breath per minute is actually the number of breaths we take in 1 minute. Our lifespan is determined by this. You can actually check a rat has 180 breaths per minute and lives for 2 years. Dog takes 60 breaths per minute and it lives for 15 years. You can examine blue whales, which has a 10 breath per minute, and the lifespan of blue whales are 100 years. The longest lifespan, do you know the animal? I think everybody knows it is turtle. It has 3 breaths per minute and the lifespan is around 250 years. And you should understand, your lifespan is determined by the breath and the timing of the breath that you are intaking. And you should understand the relation between breath and the mind also, because mind is controlled by breath only. In Hatha Yoga Pradipika, it is said, Chale vade chalam chittam, nischalam bhaved. When respiration is disturbed, mind is disturbed. By controlling respiration, we can control the mind. So, Kalaripayattu is the basic training where you learn the life skills. Along with defense techniques, it teaches us how to live. It teaches us life skills, helps us towards a warrior mindset, to be fearless, to face any crisis, to lead a society, to respect your enemy. Kalari used to teach these. So, this is a wonderful learning. I can say about the fearless mind or a warrior mindset. It is the fundamental idea that we are preaching for students. We can take the word of Swami Vivekananda, always pointed out. He says, fear is the root cause of all miseries in the world. Fear is the root cause of all the mental struggles and agonies in the world. So we teach not to fear. Fearlessness brings clarity to life. It brings courage to move ahead in life. Become fearless. Each practice in the Kalari brings about this fearless attitude. Pains and injuries don't bother us. It is the training for such an attitude. Let the storm come or thunder rumble, we can stand steady and fight. That is the mental strength of Kalari, which is provided. And the ultimate aim of Kalaripayattu is to attain the great control over your mind, getting ultimate focus to life. The aim is same to control the chitta vritti, the chattering of your conscious mind, which leads to fear. When fear comes to life, miseries begin. The practice of Kalari creates a fearless mind, already I said, and it creates awareness also. It has an equal spiritual element about our consciousness. It's a path to getting to know ourselves. Knowing ourselves is knowing all of the creation. That is the most powerful knowledge we can attain. So thank you so much.
Pranam Gurukul.
Namaskaram.
Namaskar. I wanted to, like, since I am learning Kalaripayattu and I acknowledge the contribution that it has given, provided me with the confidence, as you said, concentration, and a lot of mental stability. And I would like to take it forward. Not, I'm still learning, and the learning continues. But how can I contribute to the younger generation now that are busy with the technology and their services that are provided with, and not putting focus on something that Kalaripayattu has to offer?
Because that is the thing that I was already trying to say. Because people are like wandering, maybe in their busy life schedules, and mostly in mobiles. I think the youngsters, right? So it should be a constant process to create awareness about the fearlessness, the fearless stage of mind. You should understand when COVID situation came, we can actually, when we check the census, the death rates in India, more than COVID death rates, the suicidal death rate was the most. The number was actually is bigger. That means we are all like, the mental stability of the youngsters is very poor actually. So I was just talking about how mind and breath is connected. Everybody actually can, they're sitting actually can take a long breath. You try for a long breath. You feel a calmness, right? So breathe is the tool. We can say breathe is the control which gives your mind steady. That why I mentioned that sloga, chale vade chalam chittam nischale nischalam bhaved, which means when the breath is disturbed, your mind is disturbed. We don't even know how to breathe. That is the basic problem. So, in our education system, what people should do is at least teach the students that our basic necessity of life is breathe and how to intake these precious life force from the universe should be the basic teaching. So I teach the students in my kalari how to breathe. That is the basic thing that we are doing there. When you start breathing, what will happen is the breathe. You should know that I had asked a question earlier that where is your mind? So people will say something like this, right? But mind is deployed all over your body. We have a body-mind complex. Because when emotions come to your mind, what will happen? There will be sensations tickling on all over your body. If you feel fear, for example, if you are feeling fear, then immediately you will have some butterflies on your tummy, right? Correct? That means the emotion fear transmits some kind of sensations all over your body, in the frontal chest area, in the abdominal area, in the face muscles. If you are in an angry mood, the sensation is different. It will be in the face, in the frontal chest, and it will be in the hands. That's why if you are angry, then your eyebrows will come like this. You have a long breath. You will take your hands like this, and you'll be like curling like this, right? So, in a depressed mood, there will be no sensations all over your body. In a joyful stage, the body, all over your body will be like it is sensation. It is completely sensing. That's why kids will jump while they hear some good news, right? Or happy, they become happy. So this is how this mechanism works. Actually, we are not at all aware how this mechanism works. That is the basic issue. How can you evolve with your system? You don't know how to use your car. You don't know how to drive your car. That is the issue. First of all, take license for your body. That we teach. So we should constantly, we had to make people aware. We had to bring lot. We are trying a lot of programs. Last month we did a mass program, an anti-drug program with 1,500 students. So we are trying to disseminate this knowledge, these ideas to a lot of youngsters. We are trying, and you can also try this. This can be a very wonderful platform that everybody can try.
Dhanyavad, Gurukul, and also a lot of us would want to join any one of your programs. Please help us in that also.
You can just check agasthyam.com is our website. You can just check agasthyam.com, and I think many of your students are actually participating in our different programs. We have online sessions also, so it is very much possible. I was planning to come there, but I was little bit busy with my movie pre-production activities, so I am constantly traveling. So I am for my location hunts and what do you call it? This composing, music composing, and all that things are happening. That's why otherwise I will come.
Congratulations for the movie, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm trying the best. Yeah, thank you.
Sir, this technology can we see with Yog Darshana?
Yes, because we always say Kalaripayattu is the mother of Kalaripayattu as a dynamic yoga.
Okay.
So what is the aim to do yoga? We always think that when we hear the word yoga, then immediately our subconscious mind will push some images that highly flexible yogasanas and all that things will be coming inside, right? So we all think that yoga is the practice of body, right? This is the concept. But every yoga text, including Hatha Yoga Pradipika or Patanjali Yoga Sutra, always says define yoga as Chitta Vritti Nirodhaka. That means it is a training for your mind. It's not for your body. You can just check Ashtanga Yoga. What is that?
Yes.
Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama,
Pratyahara,
Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So ultimate aim of yoga is to attain Samadhi. Is that a mental process or is that a physical process?
Both.
Both, because we have a body-mind complex. Without body, we can't do anything. But this is mostly a mental training actually. Like that, Kalari, we train the students to, like, for example, in the beginning stage, the Chuvadu and all, we'll teach the Chuvadu and all. After that, we'll start Kaipur, bare hand attacks. So students will start like paining their hands for some time. They will like pain, it will be pain. So in 1 week time, what will happen is they will overcome the pain. So if you start hitting with anything, they can block. So what will happen is there is a confidence will come in their mind. What is the basic fear of a human being is to get pain, right? We are not interested to get pain from anybody in the mind or body. That is the basic fear we have as an animal. Every animal has that fear about the life surviving thing. It's a surviving process. So we overcome the fear of pain first of all. Then we start learning the weaponaries, swords and shields and daggers. Then we started like cutting. It will come. We will get wounds and all. Within 1 month of training, wound is a common thing in every practice. We don't care wounds, we don't care pain. So you'll be much more evolved. This process, this mental process is happening in each and every activities. For example, if for one moment, if somebody is using a sword and hitting you and you are saving, what is happening is in each and every save, what is happening? You are surviving from the death process. So that is our basic exercise that we are doing. So that is the fearless nature that we are creating inside. And maybe you should understand, if you have control over your mind, everything will come online. Always in Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a context there. Bhrigu is there, Taittiriya Upanishad, there are 3 chapters. One is, I think, Shiksha Valli, Ananda Valli, and Bhrigu Valli, in which Bhrigu Maharshi is conversing with his father, Varuna, and it concludes something like that. What will you get if you have control over your mind? It says, Annavan Annannado Bhavati, Mahan Bhavati, Pashunam Prajapir, Brahmavarsena Mahan Kirtya. That means if you have control over your mind, you will get a good body. We are thinking that if you have a good body, you will get a good mind. No. If you are having a good mind, then you will get a good body. Annavan Annannado Bhavati, Mahan Bhavati, you will become a great person. Pashunam, wealth will come to you. Don't go before that. Prajapir, like-minded people will come to you. Brahmavarsena Mahan Kirtya, that means you will become a glorified one. So keep working on your mind. Mind it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste, sir.
Sir.
So I wanted to understand this one conundrum that the 2 talks have presented, that we want the Indian forms of fight and warriorship to become famous and to be known to everyone else. How I understand the Western form or the Southeast Asian forms of fight or the combat to get famous is when we remove the sacred identity to and let it be taken up by C grade, B grade movies of Hollywood. And so how do we resolve this idea that we want to maintain the sacredness of Indian art forms, but if we'll not dwell into the profanity of it, we will not let the video games take it over or the Hollywood movies take it over, we'll not be able to make it famous.
See, there are actually there is two parts, because what happened to Kalari in last 200 years we are examining, because British actually banned Kalari, because all the protests happened started from Kalari itself, so they banned. So after we got independence, what happened is we still thought that my gurus and forefathers, like 100-year back people, they are still thinking that Kalari is something illegal, something like that. So they are not at all ready to disseminate the knowledge. That is the basic issue. And second one is, who is the student? Who is the Shishya? That is very important, because we are teaching about the life skills. We are teaching this beautiful martial art to everybody. So, who is the guru? Who is the Shishya? That is very important. Who learns? And from this learning, what he is going to do. So, in Siddhas always say, சிஷ்யன் என்று 12 வருஷம் பார்த்தால் அறிவான புத்தி அவனுக்கு இருந்ததானால். You should observe a student whether he is capable to receive this. So if he is capable, you can easily give all the ideas. You should understand all these Chinese martial art movies, including Bruce Lee movies and Jackie Chan and all. These movies made karate, kung fu much popular in the world. That government tried to disseminate their beautiful martial art to the world. That's why it is global now. But what happened to Kalari is, I think 30 years back there was movies, but not much importance. People, even government, are not much interested to create an awareness, propagations, and all that things. It is just a part of something called tourism or something like that. So the attitude should change, but there is drastic changes happening nowadays. Lot of people are attracted, lot of people are getting benefited. I hope there will be a wonderful days coming. This is what do you call, survival or a rising or coming a period is happening for Kalari.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Sir, do you conduct any in-house programs especially for the kids, to introduce into this kind of martial arts during vacations?
Sure. Actually, we have online programs. Actually, basically, we are teaching more than 700 students all over the world. We have kids camps in US. We have camps in Canada, and many more countries in Germany also. And in if you are interested, we can easily plan online sessions, or in India we can plan some kind of offline sessions. Our Ashans will come there. What I had done is, I started training more than 25 trainers. That is the thing that I had done. That's why we are we can attain such number of. We did a Sampradaya program, that is a teachers training program, where I create a lot of teachers from last 5-6 years. So we are conducting a lot of programs all over the world by online, offline, and even IIT Kharagpur, we had done a class, online class with 100 students. I think 3 months we had did it. Lot of students participated. It is very much possible.
Thank you for erudite talk, and it's really nice that now you are also using means of cinema to bring these ideas to more people. And definitely I'll try to book first day, first show and watch it there.
Please, please.
Sir, so I wanted to comprehend that when you talked about when the colonizers came and then they tried to ban this practice, but with the kind of competencies which these knowledge forms have, they would not have taken it lightly, and there might have been a serious backslash. So was there any integration or grouping of all these art forms? So how did they fight against them? Or like in the previous presentation, I understood some of them went into secret and still that culture continued. But throughout this FDP, I got to understand that the impact was not only economic, but there was a lot of civilizational plunder which they did, and many of the wisdom which we lost. So how did the gurus maintain these things, and how did we nurture and still maintain them? And that part I wanted to understand. Thank you, sir.
The after British banned colours in Kerala, for example in South, because why they banned, because lot of struggles, lot of activities against British, lot of wars happened from the base of colours, because colours become, it was the integral part of Kerala actually. So it became the base of resistance. So lot of kids, they went to Kalari, they learned a lot of things, they used it against the British, so they banned, they seized the weapons and they made Kalari illegal. So at the same time, what it is happened is the gurus who tried to continue these wonderful martial art systems teach their students in very, very, what do you call, in a secret way. They went to, they created some Gopya colours, some colours inside the sand, and see, like something, some cellar kind of colours they created. They went to woods, they made Nila colours there. So they had tried a tremendous work to sustain this beautiful, wonderful martial art till independence. After that, what happened is Kerala Kalaripaitu Association came. We have sports councils and all. So Kalaripaitu Association came. They started to recognize colours. They started to do these kind of martial art competitions, promotions, activities. Lot of things happen, and it is very much happy that before 5 years we are now in national games. From our Kalari, I already mentioned that 64 students, we got medals in district championship, and like we went to state championship, we went to national championship. Just like any other sports activity, now we have sports quota, this one, sports quota, Kalari is recognized as a sports. So we have national championships happened. Our national medal winners, that sub-junior medal winners, have stipends, even like something like 10,000 rupees they are getting in per month for studies, and even they are getting grace marks. So government started trying to maintain this beautiful martial art. Now we are tending to, we got this, we participated in Khelo India, and we are expecting within 5 years, Kalaripaitu will be a sports event in Asian Games. So then people will be more interested. I think I am also an executive member of Kalaripaitu Association. We are all jointly working for that dream.